Live from KLKN TV in Lincoln, this is Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. The latest now on last night's shooting in Crete. A worker at a cold storage facility there shot 3 people and then killed himself. Vanessa Brown joins us live from Crete and is kicking off our team coverage tonight. Vanessa?
That's right, Rod. First, I want to give you an idea of where we are. We're standing alongside Highway 103, just outside of Farmland Foods plant, and the shooting actually happened across the street. I want to go ahead and give you a look at that. That's the Americold building where the shooting took place. I just want to reiterate, the authorities believe 1 person is dead, the shooter. 3 more are injured. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Karen Morfitt has more.
Workers of Americold Logistics in Crete returned to work this morning, less than 24 hours after the plant was home to a horrific scene.
We received a 911 call of shots fired at the Americold facility.
According to the Saline County Sheriff's Office, 26-year-old Akush Kushal from Lincoln and an employee at the plant entered the lunchroom during a break time just before 10 p.m. He began shooting. Kushal injured 3 Crete employees, Elizabeth Canas, Renee Villarreal, and Paul Riviera, all before turning the gun on himself. The victims were transported to nearby hospitals. Kushal's body was found in a plant parking lot. A weapon was found on the scene. Officials with Americold released this statement saying they are cooperating with the investigation and they wish to extend their sincere thoughts and prayers to their co-workers as well as their family and friends. The Saline County Sheriff's Office says they have no motive behind the shooting, and even after 8 years as the head of the department, Moore says something like this is always hard to take.
It's definitely a shock. It's something that you don't want to have happen in your community, as in any large community would be the same way. So it definitely affects us because we're smaller.
In Crete, Karen Morfitt, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
This whole shooting brings up a lot of questions about why it took place and who the shooter was. Joining us now to continue our team coverage is Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Stephanie Costanzo. Stephanie?
Yeah, Vanessa, when events like this happen, everyone wants to know how it happened, why it happened. Well, I did have a couple chances to talk to some family members about what the events leading up to the shooting and the shooter itself. 26-year-old Akush Kushal lived in Lincoln but worked at the Americold Logistics facility in Crete. A family member of one of the victims told Channel 8 Kushal was upset with a girl at work and said he was going home and would be back. The victim told his family member Kushal returned to the plant with a gun and first shot out a glass window in the plant's cafeteria. He then turned and shot 3 victims before turning the gun on himself. Kushal's Facebook page had a quote saying, "Life is unfair. It doesn't matter whatever you do to make things right, so tell me what to do to keep living in this world of ours." It was posted just 2 hours before the shooting. One of Kushal's brothers told Channel 8 several members of their family work at the plant, and although he wouldn't appear on camera, he said Kushal mostly just worked and took care of his mother here in Lincoln. The family came over from Sudan in the late 90s and moved to Lincoln. Now, some members of the family told me they literally found out about the shooting when they were arriving at Americold last night for their shift. Now, as of now, some of those family members are gathering at Kushal's Lincoln apartment. They say, Vanessa, they're just trying to piece together why this all happened.
And I know when we leave from here, we are going to be talking to some more people who worked at the facility, were perhaps closer to some of these victims, maybe even the shooter. We're going to bring you all of that information tonight at 10. But again, we just want to let you know where we are. We're standing off of Highway 103 just outside of Crete, in front of the Farmland Foods plant and across the street where the shooting took place at Americold. We're going to go ahead and send it back to you, Rod.
All right, thank you, Vanessa. I want to mention just a few minutes ago, I did talk to officials with Americold, and they told me that they do have on-site counselors there at the factory, just in case employees there need a little help to get through this. The town of Crete has a population of about 6,000 people, and as you might imagine, when something like this happens, its impact is far-reaching. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Darby Bybee was in Crete and joins us with more. Darby?
Yeah, Rod, and given its relatively small size, it's not too surprising that when a man walks into one of these factories and opens fire, it's bound to have an impact on almost everybody in town.
We're all family around here, and when something like this happens, it just, I think it devastates, the whole community.
Robert Gooding works the first shift at Americold storage unit just south of Crete, where last night a man entered and shot 3 employees. Last night he wasn't sure if he would be going back to work, but from the looks of it, it was business as usual today at this factory. In the meantime, the town reflects on what happened. What if your son had been working there at the time?
I would have been scared to death, because that's the shift he used to work.
Crete's economy is heavily dependent on the factories that are in and around it, so it's not surprising to meet people like Holly Miller, who knows several people who work at Americold.
I'm going to hope that I don't get a phone call that I do have a funeral to go to, and hope that it's somebody I can visit in the hospital and hug and say, I'm glad you're okay.
Now, 2 of the 3 employees who were shot have been released.
All right, good news there. Thank you, Darby. And those 2 patients, by the way, were rushed to Bryan LGH West Trauma Center here in Lincoln late last night. Hospital officials held a press conference late this afternoon, and Ashley Larson was there. She joins us with the latest on that. Ashley?
Rod, the most critically injured person was brought to Bryan LGH by the Star Care helicopter. Now, we actually caught video of her being transported by the helicopter. Dr. Reginald Burton, trauma director for Bryan LGH, says she had 11 gunshot wounds. The most severe was right near her spine, but fortunately doctors say she won't be paralyzed. Now, when she came in, her injuries were considered life-threatening. She underwent close to 8 hours of surgery. Burton says she's still waking up from the intense surgery. Here's him discussing her injuries.
She underwent emergent surgery. She had over 11 gunshot wounds, injuries including liver, spleen, colon in 2 places, her diaphragm, and the gunshot wound to the chest also.
Now, another patient, Rene Villarreal, was also brought in. He had 4 gunshot wounds, but we actually have some good news to report tonight. We just got off the phone with Bryan LGH, and he was discharged just a short time ago. Now, Dr. Burton says in addition to these 2 patients, they had 3 other trauma patients to take care of. So there were close to 100 people, from surgeons, doctors, nurses, taking care of these patients. We're going to have much more on this story coming up tonight at 10.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, you're right. We'll have a full wrap-up of all that happened last night in Crete tonight at 10.